Hey everyone, and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV, where today it is time to finally continue the main story. I have been so excited to move on to the Heavensward patches. There's a lot happening in these patches that I'm very excited for. Before we get started, oh goodness, I've been picking up rewards left and right. So many rewards that I have picked up. To the point that we're going to have to do it, to use up all the rewards throughout multiple episodes. Okay. Pulling up my list of where I got everything. Let's see, we got... Where's my notes? Where is it? There we go. First off, I got the Bluebird minion. A lot of these minions I did end up buying off the market board because I'm just so far behind on them and I have so much money that you just might as well buy them off the market board. I got a Bluebird minion. You get these from Pisces skin maps from A Realm Reborn. The Tiny Tapir minion. You get from Combat Retainer, oh god, what's it called? Field Exploration Mission number 14. You can get Tiny Tapirs. Fat Cat you can get from... Where are you? My notes are not as organized as I thought they were. Fat Cat I know you get from one of the Retainer Ventures. I want to say it's the Fisher Venture 14? Okay, well, I don't see Fat Cat on my list, but I know it's Retainer. Oh, wait, no, hold on. I got a duplicate Fat Cat. Nice, never mind, moving on. That's why I didn't take notes on it. The Unicult is the minion from the Vault. The Owlet is the minion from the Fractal Continuum. Page 63 is a minion from the Great Google Library. Rubelite weapon, I believe I got from an old PvP series whose rewards have been re-released into the for trophy crystals. Next on the list is the G-Warrior MGSD, a Blatant Gundam reference. Master Garland's superior design. People who build Gunpla know the reference better than I do. I watch Gundam, some Gundam. I've watched G-Witch, oh god. I've watched G-Witch, G-Quux, original series, and I'm near the end of Zeta, though it has been slow going, I'm gonna be honest. But yeah, we got this from the current PvP series. For patch 7.4, that is. Next up, Traveling Supporter Mount. Got that from an old PvP series whose rewards were re-released for trophy crystals. Got some Luminson Bardings for Grand Company seals with the Maelstrom. And then we got the Arami Tama Framers Kit from an old PvP series. This one again got re-released for trophy crystals. Nigimi Tama Framers Kit from the same one as the previous Arami Tama Framers Kit. And from the current PvP series, we got the Bayside Battleground Framers Kit. Alright, that is all the minions we're going over for, or the rewards we're going over for today. Let's go ahead and look at their descriptions and then we will move on. Let's see. The page 63, though unable to read the arcane script penned in blood across this forbidden tome, discovered in the Great Google Library, you sense much power in the words, or it could simply be the fact that the book follows you. No dusty tome doth capture in ink what these terrible beings are now become, from Urianger. Next up, the Tiny Tapir. Before it was realized that tapirs were in fact consuming the dreams of their owners, several hundred were sold to Ul'dah nobles seeking a better night's sleep. Surprisingly, there were few complaints from buyers even after learning the truth. Oh my! Our dreams are what sustain us. Gundabald, from Little Alamigo. The rest of them should all be on this page, it looks like. The Unicult, symbols of purity and innocence, newborn unicorns are kept by the Ishgardian Church to create holy water used in sacred rites. A process that involves the creatures dipping their horns in spring water while a sanctified priest blesses it. Four-legged and tall, with a pristine white coat and a single horn protruding from its brow, from Brea. Bluebird, fortunate to hatch before being eaten by lizards, unfortunate to fall from its nest before learning to fly. Fortunate to land in an empty treasure coffer, unfortunate to still be in said coffer as it is filled with booty and locked up again. fortunate to be plundered by you. What a life. The disbelieving cries of our foe will be as sweet as the sweetest birdsong from Yadovga. The owlet, preserved with temporal magics and placed on display in the fractal continuum, this genetically enhanced cloudkin is documented as being one of the genetic components used in the creation of Mirror Knights. He appears to have developed the capacity for reading. It is difficult to even remember the last time I spoke with someone other than my good friends the owls from Reuteloin. Rubelite weapon. This is going to be from the Shadowbringers trial series. We will get to that eventually. Retrieved from an Imperial base, this scale prototype of a War Machina appears to have been created for aerodynamics testing and carries no armaments. After completing their analysis, the Eorzean Alliance saw fit to bestow it upon members as a reward for exemplary service. Feast your eyes on the likeness of the Crimson Conqueror, the Vermilion Villain, the Scarlet Scoundrel, the one and only Ruby Weapon from a War Machina fanatic. G-Warrior MGST, an Ironworks Machina enthusiast, has replicated the G-Warrior in tiny toy-like form. Boasting incredible detail despite their diminutive size, these units are being offered as an allied training trophy as part of a publicity campaign for the Garland Ironworks. I present the Garland Ironworks adaptation of the Ultima Warrior, the G-Warrior from Sid Garland. Unfortunately, I don't want that minion sitting around in my inventory for 5 years, so a preview of what's to come. Right, there was one more minion that I put into my, that I accepted into my listings without actually reading over the description. That was when we were doing the Sea of Clouds fates. That is the, there it is. Gold Rush minecart. We got that from a fate in the Sea of Clouds. Unbeknownst to their clients, retainers across Eorzea have been secretly using these automated minecarts to help haul about all the materials adventurers have them venture forth to collect. As of yet, however, no adventurer has reported receiving a rush of gold. Well, you know what? That's fair. We put them to so much work. But I don't want to work in the silver mines from a Gold Saucer patron who I'm sure is like 8 years old. I've seen them every time I go in there. And then lastly, we have the minion. Sorry, not the minion, the mount. There you are. Traveling Supporter. This advanced bipedal machina was found wandering the Cartano Flats by a quartermaster of the Eorzean Alliance. While it bears a striking resemblance to Allegan clockwork soldiers, it appears to have been enhanced by unknown hands or paws. Yeah, you know what? If you want to read that one, go for it, but that's too risky for me to actually read out. We'll get to that eventually. Okay. 8 minutes of going through rewards later, we have more to come. Let's get started. I'm going to be changing up how I do main story episodes. We're going to be doing multiple main story quests in a row, and I'm going to try and... I have a specific rule that I'm setting for myself on how many quests I'm allowed to do in a day. But we're going to be doing multiple quests in a row, so let's get started. Alphino and Tataru, how goes it? The search for our missing friends continues. Should I learn something, I'll be sure to let you know. And Alphino. Alphino wishes to share the latest developments in the search for the missing scions. Fortuitous timing as always, Satora. Tataru is about to brief me on the search for our missing comrades. If you would be so kind then. Absolutely. You'll be pleased to hear that Riel and his men have been making excellent progress. You remember how Flamine helped me to escape the Crystal Braves in Limzo only to then disappear? Well, according to Riel, she crept aboard a ship bound for Radzit's Han, where she's been hiding ever since. He assures me that it won't be long before we're reunited. As for Ida and Papalima, the remains of their link pearls have been found, and in Pearl Lane of all places. Riel thinks they must have disposed of them after escaping from the Royal Promenade. Yes, that would make sense. They could not risk being eavesdropped upon by our betrayers. We're all but certain they fled the city shortly after, though we still don't have a clue where they went. I see, and what of Thancred and Menphilia? I'm afraid I have nothing new to share about those two, but it's not all doom and gloom. The good news is we've enlisted the services of a Charlian scholar, one of the students of Baldessian, to aid in the search, who should be arriving any day now. One of the students, you say? I should very much like to meet this scholar, if time permits. But first we must attend to a more pressing matter. Sir Emmerich has summoned the two of us for a private audience. The messenger did not specify what he wished to discuss, only that it was urgent. Assuming you have no objections, Tora, I suggest we proceed to the congregation forthwith. And mayhap I can meet with the scholar afterwards. Agreed? Sounds like a plan. In that case, I think I'll return to the Forgotten Night for now. Things are liable to fall apart if I'm gone too long, you know? It does occur to me that we have not checked in Mordona in a little bit. I'll do it next time, even though it does risk us missing dialogue. We've probably already missed dialogue, honestly. It's fine. It's fine. We'll check in next time. We got the most time-consuming of the rewards out of the way, at least, so... It's fine. Good invariably triumphs over evil in fairy tales, yet they are conspicuously reticent about what follows. Indeed. Let's find out what follows. The Lord Commander is within. Pray proceed, miss.
Thank you for coming. I wish to speak with you both in a place where privacy was assured.
We quite understand. What was it that you wished to discuss?
With my father's passing, the seat of the Archbishop lies vacant. And so, in accordance with canon law, I have assumed his responsibilities. I should stress that this is a temporary measure. It was never intended that the Lord Commander of the Temple Knights serve in this capacity indefinitely. Quite the opposite. The statutes specify that I should surrender my powers as soon as a conclave of the senior clergy and the high houses have named a new archbishop. But in light of recent events, that would not seem appropriate.
I confess I did not expect you to divulge quite so much quite so soon. The details of the Archbishop's plans, perhaps, but the true origin of the war and all it entails?
I too had concerns. But when the Warrior of Light is witnessed returning to the capital upon the back of a dragon, one's options are rather limited. Mayhap I could have concealed certain details, but for how long? And at what risk? Should the truth have come to light in the meantime, how would the people have viewed my silence? After 1,000 years of lies and secrecy, I could not well abuse their trust and hope to be believed. The time for deception has passed. I only wish the people agreed. That some would deny the truth I had anticipated, but not this many. And among the few who acknowledged that my father had to be stopped, no small number questioned our methods.
If they suspect a coup, it will not be long before some turn to violence.
It has already begun, and that on both sides. Men and women of the cloth are being harassed in the streets. Some have even been assaulted in the broom. Hilda and her people have formed a watch to help us maintain order, but such measures will not prevent the unrest from spreading.
For all our talk of peace, the people remain frightened and confused. For their sake, we must bring the Dragonsong War to a definitive end.
And we should be glad to help you, Sir Emmerich. But what precisely would you have us do?
We wish to treat with the dragons of Annex Trine. To that end, I would trouble you for an escort and an introduction.
Annex Trine? You would speak with Vidofnir, then?
We must needs open a dialogue between our peoples. Acting as my representative, Lucia will extend an invitation to their leader, that she might visit us here in Ishgard. Were she still with us, I would of course have beseeched Isel's assistance in this matter. But as she is not, I must ask that you aid us in her stead. Will you do us this favor? Thank you, my friends. Lucia, I leave the rest to you.
In the wake of the Archbishop's fall, the nation of Ishgard trembled, the faith of her people shaken to its very core. For 1,000 years had they fought and died, certain of the justice of their cause, only to be told that their holy war was born of the sins of their forefathers. What then for those brave men and women, thus stripped of their righteousness but to despair, to deny the truth and decry its speakers? And what then for those whom they defamed but to hope on, to have faith in a brighter tomorrow? A tomorrow in which man and dragon might live together in harmony, then as distant as the very stars in the heavens. Yet while we dared to hope, deep within his lair the enemy lay, gathering his strength. Nidhogg, now possessed of his 2 eyes and the body of the Azure Dragoon, prizes to which he had laid claim at the very hour of the hero's triumph. As desperately as we sought the solace of peace, the great worm craved the misery of war. Nor was he alone in his misbegotten desire.
Things aren't really looking good for Ishgard at all right now. Hey, sorry about that. I kind of put you in a bad situation, didn't I? The journey at least should pose little difficulty this time. Indeed, we've made the journey once before and we are now friendly with the dragons, so... I know little of the lands these dragons call home, this Onyx Shrine. Had you not agreed to escort me, the coming journey would seem a far more daunting prospect. I confess I myself once shuddered at the thought of it, yet even the longest journey begins with the first step, does it not? But ere we set forth, Satora and I must needs inform our comrade of our plans. Very well, I shall see to my preparations. Then let us go and bid farewell to Tataru, Satora? Sounds good. We'll see you soon, Lucia. Traversing the Western Highlands calls for warmer clothing, yet there are only so many layers one can fit under plate armor. Yeah, maybe you should try some of that leather armor that I've been trying to make and sell with some of your suppliers down in the Jeweled Crozier. I thought you might want to tell her, or would you rather I did all the talking? I'll do it. So, what was your secret meeting all about? I'm all ears. We are heading off to Onyx Shrine for hopefully treaty negotiations? A diplomatic mission to Onyx Shrine, you say? Well, I suppose that does take precedence. But should your meeting with Vidofnir happen to end early, you might consider rendezvousing with Ishtola in Idilshire. She'll be there to receive our guests. Don't get me wrong, your meeting with the dragons is terribly important and everything, but this scholar just happens to be... time permitting, as I said. We shall endeavor to join Ishtola, but if we cannot, pray pass on our regards. Let us be off, Satora. We have kept the first commander waiting long enough. Sorry, Tataru. We will do our best to make it. Well, let no one say I didn't try. Yeah, Alphino sure did kind of cut you off there. Sorry about that. One task at a time, Satora. Besides, I have no doubt that Ishtola can look after the scholar by herself. True, but I do want to meet this new ally of ours. You are ready then? Good, so am I. Perfect. Alright, what food do I want to get? Well, given our group's current struggles with Titan Extreme on Mine difficulty, fuck that rock. Let's get tenacity. Alphino is ready to escort Lucia to Onyx Shrine. The path is long but known to us. From Falcon's Nest, we shall cross the Western Highlands and make for Tailfeather in the Dravanian Forelands. There we can stop to rest and replenish our supplies. Questions? If not, then the stables await. The trek we have made many times before, so many times that we're just gonna... Go ahead and finish it already. We don't need to hike all the way there. Alphino can escort her just fine. It's fine. I'm sure they made it. Yeah, see, there they are. They made it just fine. Strange, this is only my third visit to Tailfeather, yet the first feels as though it were a lifetime ago. I always imagined that the first time I set foot upon Dravanian soil would be at the head of an army, and here I am ready to treat with the brothers and sisters of mine enemies. Full well do I know how difficult it can be to set aside the past. Though it was I who first proposed recruiting Azael to our cause, I questioned the wisdom of my words almost as soon as I had uttered them, and for a long time after that. Here was a woman with the blood of innocence on her hands. Men, women, children, all slain in the name of the implacable Lady Iceheart. Yet she acknowledged her misdeeds and agreed to join us in common cause. At our side, she fought in service to that greater good, even into her dying breath. And while that does not absolve her of her sins, I hope that one day she'll be remembered not merely as a heretic, but as a misguided soul who dreamt of peace. You ask much, Master Alphino. Yet who can say what might come to pass, should our negotiations bear fruit? Yes, of course, we must press on to Onyx Shrine, if you will follow me. Alright, further onwards. I'll just go ahead and meet you there. Now arriving on the second floor of Onyx Shrine, hello Vidofnir. We have a proposal for you. Thou art ever welcome here, friend of Azael. But this one I do not know. Pray forgive us this unannounced visit, Vidofnir. May I present to you Lucia, first commander of the Temple Knights of Ishgard, and our trusted friend. It is an honor to meet you, Vidofnir. I am come as envoy of Sir Emmerich, Lord Commander of the Temple Knights and acting leader of the Holy See. Indeed. You may speak, knight. For 1,000 years, man and dragon have been locked in an endless cycle of bloodshed and sorrow. To our shame, we long believed your kin to be the architects of this war, but now we know the truth. That King Thordan and his Knights 12 did willfully betray and murder the great worm Radatotsker, shattering the peace between our peoples. For 1,000 years, our leaders conspired to conceal this truth, a truth which was at last laid bare by the Warrior of Light, the Azure Dragoon, and Azael. Alas, a deception so intricately wrought cannot be undone in a moment, and our people labor to accept the truth. After an eternity of war, who would dare to dream that peace could be at last within our grasp? Yet dream we must, as Azael once did, and we must make that dream a reality as she could not. We humbly beseech you, Vidofnir, join hands with us in friendship once more, before the eyes of my people in Ishgard. A most unexpected invitation. I have heard your request, knight. However, I cannot yet give you mine answer. May I ask why? This matter concerneth my sire. He must needs be consulted. Moreover, the Noth grow bold even as they did before, and I would not leave my people at the mercy of the swarm. Then we will wait. After 1,000 years at war, we shall not give up on peace for want of patience. Ha! Fear not, knight. Thou shalt have mine answer within thy lifetime. So soon! My humble thanks. I shall bear your words to my lord forthwith, until we meet again. Reasonable response, given all that you have to deal with. Also, incredibly funny response. You'll have my response within your lifetime. Awesome. Love it. With the lifetime discrepancy, that's incredibly loose time frame for us. Thanks, Vidofnir. Great sense of humor. I love you. Never did I think to see a knight of Ishgard come into Onyx Shrine bearing words instead of steel. Would that the Noth could show the same restraint. Too many children have fallen to their spears and muskets. Yeah, sorry about that. Don't know why I'm in such warm clothing when, we're in this relatively more temperate weather. To face such a creature in battle is one thing, to converse with it is quite another. Well, you're putting in the effort. Both sides are, it seems. Given the circumstances, I would say that went rather well. To be frank, I am surprised that our proposal was not rejected outright. Whether aught will come of it remains to be seen, however. Mayhap I should take this opportunity to speak with some of the other dragons. But you need not wait for me. The return journey holds no fears for me now. Well, if you have no further need of our services, we shall continue on to Sharlayan. We hope to welcome a scholar who has agreed to aid us in the search for our missing comrades. Then I pray your journey is as swift and uneventful as ours was, and thank you again for sparing the time to assist us, even when such grave matters remain unresolved. I can think of no graver matter than a 1,000-year war, one which our friends gave their lives to see ended. Suffice it to say, I would willingly make 1,000 such journeys to ensure that their sacrifice was not in vain. Of that I have no doubt, Master Alphino. I only hope the fates will not hold you to your word. Indeed. Alright. I'd hoped to fit in one more today, but I think that's a good stopping point. Next time on Final Fantasy XIV. We're going to check in Mordona real quick, see how the rest of the Scions are doing, the ones that aren't the Archons. And then we're going to return here to continue the main story and meet the scholar in Sharlayan in Idleshire. I will see everyone next time for that.